It's that time.
We're live.
Welcome to the Late Sesh. What is going on, everybody? It's Monday.
Cheers.
Hopefully you started off the day on the right foot.
Cheers.
And everything's chilling out now. We got some kombucha being cheersed up.
I've got fresh mint springs
Okay, look
in
at
my
this
water.
cool glass.
Oh, okay.
It's like a little mini goblet.
Yeah.
Is it just
Like
water?
These or something.
It's some mint tea,
Oh, you both have mint tea.
iced
Okay.
mint tea.
But you didn't
She-
have mint.
Man.
She has mint tea that was brewed with some hot water and tea bags. That's
Oh.
like a purchased item. This is mint out of the garden.
Oh, you're so
Sweet.
much better than me. I'm sorry.
So-
Well, no,
fancy.
yours is better. I couldn't tell the difference, honestly. I poured myself some in here and I didn't realize. I thought it was actual tea. I thought I was going to get caffeine. She's like, no, it's decaffeinated. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's like just.
I would think hers would be stronger because it's from dried tea.
I kind of diluted
Good
it
point.
and made it. I did 4 tea bags and in a whole pot of water
Just do.
and brewed it, and then I added like half a thing of water.
I'm doing like
Made a full
4
pitcher.
big leaves. You know, these big, oh, here, I got a spring in here. Actually, you pluck a spring, get yourself like a 1 foot tall spring, and then just stick it in a glass of water. You know, pick off of it all day long. It stays fresh and like it won't wilt and get weird on you. Just leave it in some water, like you're cloning it. You know.
I see we have a question in chat. Georgia Grow Guy shout out says, I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. My chat just ran away from me. He says, I don't know what the show will be about. Curious if anyone has any opinions on dry herb vaping. Yes, we do.
Cheers, Daddy Red.
Painted Lady has. Which one do you have, Painted Lady?
I have the
Bickle?
crafty. Yeah.
Crafty,
Yeah,
yeah.
there it is. That's what
Mhm.
I have. That's mine.
That's mine. Put it down, fucker. I
Tell me
have.
more about it. What
It's
is-
the stores in Bickle, and it's basically you just screw up the top, and inside is just a chamber. Thanks.
He's gonna
Thank
bring
you,
it out
Jenna.
to her. There you go.
It's
Thank
like
you,
the Price
buddy.
is Right.
Show 'em what we won.
And it's probably all dirty. Yeah, it's got stuff in it, but so there's a chamber that you pack with dry herb. Focus. And then you just screw it back on, and then this comes out,
Mhm. That's your
and
stuff
then
on.
this heats it up. It's probably not charged, but maybe.
Little
And
light
then
bulb.
once it's ready, it'll turn blue, and then it lasts for quite a while, and then it like starts buzzing when it gets to a certain point, like when it's going to shut off, like when if you haven't done anything or taken a hit or anything for a while, it'll let you know, hey, I'm going to shut off unless you take a hit or something, and then it buzzes like a few more times, and then it just completely shuts off. So that's kind of cool. It saves battery, and then doesn't fuck up your.
I like the portability of yours. I have a desktop. It's from a brand called Seventh Floor Vapes, and it's called the Silver Surfer. Painted Ladies is cooler. Mine has like a whip, and the way that it works is it has a ceramic heating element, and you have a rheostat dial. So you turn the dial, set it to a temperature. There is no temperature settings on it. Basically, you start off by having it on the lowest temperature setting you can get to have some kind of vapor coming off of it. Then you stir it a couple times as you're going through and ripping it, increase the temperature, and away you go.
Could you imagine Painted Lady with a whip?
Yes.
Be pretty
What?
scary.
What the hell is? Oh, Red, I remember that. That is a super old school one from like 2014. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is something that you could put dry herb in, and so the way this is going to connect to a regular 510 battery of your choice. So think of this as like a cartridge. What this is doing is this is kind of packing down as it's burning. This is best used with like keef or something, and so you're going to load your dry herb in there, and there's an atomizer down in the bottom here. There's a little atomizer, and then the top plunger. See it? Boink, boink.
Plunges, yep.
Plunges. And so you would screw this together, and then as you're smoking, you smoke it, and then you'd also plunge it. puff
That's
and
weird.
plunge. Yeah, it's super weird. It's best used with keef or finely ground flour. I've used it a couple times. It kind of came as a package deal with this whole nicotine thing that I was doing back when I was trying to quit smoking cigarettes. Long before I effectively smoked cigarettes without any of this nonsense. But I mean, this thing's kind of cool, and I got
Contraptions.
I got all these contraptions for sure. All kinds of, dude. I remember back in e-cigs and all that shit, e-juice and everything first came out. I got all kinds of little cigarette batteries laying around that would otherwise probably work just fine with all kinds of cartridges. All those different kinds of gimmicky cigarette knockoff looking
Where do you have
things.
these things hidden?
They're not really hidden.
They're squirreled away.
Yeah, exactly. They're stashed in weird random
That's
boxes and shit.
weird.
You just open a drawer one day and be like, I fucking forgot I even owned this shit. Hell
I
yeah,
mean,
man.
dude, it's in the probably 3 of them in a box with the same cord, waiting to go get sold at a
Right.
garage sale or some shit. You want an old used nicotine fucking?
Can you imagine the stuff of Reds that Becca stumbled upon over the
She's wait till she's signed in for the long
Oh,
haul, so
man.
she's gonna find even more weirdness.
Yeah.
She opens a
Didn't you
box,
tell us at
like
one
the,
point that you had a Clifford the Big Red Dog hat, like the mascot hat that like goes over your head? Was that not something you said you had?
Maybe.
Where?
I don't know.
It's not here. It's not here.
It's at the farm. I've got
It's at the farm, just in case.
I've got a
right?
giant. It's bigger than a hockey bag. I mean, this thing's huge.
Just in case he's got to scare off intruders.
There's a
I don't know,
very
something
large.
As Clifford.
There's a very large.
He said it's all fucked up
dog.
too, so it could be like the back rooms where there's like this anomalous fucking monster
It's,
that's got
it's
like
missing an eye, so
There you
I need
go.
I need an eye patch. It needs a big eye
a
patch.
bedazzled one.
I think you'd be a pirate dog. You can go
Be a
do
pirate dog.
Instead
Arr.
of-
Salty dog.
Arr, woof,
Hey,
woof,
look
woof.
at Daddy Red says you have no idea. Cheers, Daddy Red.
Yeah, it's a labyrinth. It's a labyrinth of things from.
But he knows where it's all at. It's weird.
Oh yeah, it's a
Pyramid.
organized mess. That's what it is.
It's like, no, Red, not another garage sale, please.
Please.
I mean, it's a lot of things that are
Red's all
useful.
about upcycling.
It's all
yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's all upcyclable.
That's how
How did
Stuff.
you
Yeah.
how did you think you were gonna
That's how
upcycle a
it
fucking
Guys,
beat up moth?
Let me tell you this
dog
story
head?
today, okay?
Oh, we got one
So-
from today.
Last summer, we went to a music festival called Summer Camp, and he got these fancy shorts
Oh.
that he ripped, and his balls were out. You know that story?
Yes.
Okay, well,
Love that story.
the only thing he kept was a bead, and it was on like the
The
tie.
drawstrings had some nice quality beads on them,
So-
man.
and
They
it
got the fucking-
somehow ended up back out. Like it was hidden inside a pocket of something.
It was in our camping ship. Yeah.
His balls?
Stowed away, and
Yeah,
now
my
it's
balls. My left one.
yep. Now it's hanging
Specifically,
from the
the
fence.
left string tie ball.
No, he repurposed it today. The random ass bead.
Yeah, random bead. It's not. It's the I made a puller for my gate. I made a gate pull out of some.
You never know when you need a high quality bead.
Yeah, some
Just one.
paracord. Yeah,
But
paracord and a
it
nice.
wasn't just
good
in
quality
the
bead.
camping stuff. It was like in a pocket in a jacket of like somewhere random, and it got like brought out. And then I like was like, oh, maybe I'll just like put it in the car, and it just like
Oh, it ended up in the truck. Yeah, it
just
ended up in the
ended
truck,
up
and
here.
it was sitting on the
Hello.
coffee table, and I remembered it was there because I have this photographic memory. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a bead. I'm outside working on the gate, putting these latches on the gate, and I'm like whittling up this fucking thing to do on the the gate hinge. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hook up some paracord, make a little pole, and then I'm like, oh, there's a bead on my coffee table, so I ran up here and grabbed the bead.
But that's just
And-
everything in the house has one of those weird purposes. And
Exactly.
It's just a
You
lot.
just got to be able to remember where they are. That's the struggle.
It's a lot of things.
That's the struggle I have, is that I know where everything is. It's
So I had this come up
haunts
today.
my cluttered mind.
I put a new toilet in yesterday, so now we got a dual flusher. We got a number 1 flusher and a number 2 flusher.
Yeah.
fancy.
So I was looking for my rectal use only stickers so that I could put it on the number 2 flush button. and I haven't found them yet. But
Good.
everything's got a purpose, you know what I mean? And I have a thing for that purpose, and I haven't found it yet.
Good.
What's this fancy new toilet? You're saying that it's got like a different amount of water for the number one?
Mhm.
I like this. That's cool.
Uses 1.1 gallons for a number one, and it uses 1.6 for a number two.
Oh, dang.
What's funny about that story though is it's ironic because you've used those stickers for a lot of places where it probably shouldn't have been used, but where it would actually make sense, then you can't have it.
I don't want him to find them ever again because I always end up finding it like on the back of my phone or something when I go somewhere. And I'm like, fucking A. And I don't even think about it, and I put it on the counter in a store or something, and then the cashier is like, "Hey, that'll be $5.35, whatever." That my for rectal use only on my phone.
Number one, I introduce you to number two.
I expect her to take it off of there, but she kept it on forever. She's a trooper.
I don't know. I think it was laziness and just forgetting to take it off.
You liked it. You enjoyed that it said it. It said for rectal use only on your phone, and it was a funny thing.
I secretly like.
You secretly
Show him your screensaver.
Yep.
Yeah.
We thought it was a rebellion to the norm. It was a fuck you to the like everyday moms and dads that have to see your phone at the
Anal
bank.
starts at 50.
Yep, they got to see your
Thank you,
phone at
segments.
the in line at the bank, and at the teller at the grocery store. I see that. Yep.
Yep.
What?
I don't know.
don't know, man.
I haven't lit a joint yet. That's what's
Maybe
going
come
on.
back. Yeah.
It's about to be last week's episode of Polarity Science, where it took me an
Guys.
hour and 41 minutes to roll a joint.
You guys hear that thunder we got going on? We got
Yeah, I
a
can
little
hear it.
thunderstorm rolling through. It's pretty nice. I love thunderstorms.
You see those big-
Has anybody been close to like a tornado, or has anybody been like a storm chaser?
Nope.
No.
What about chat? Anybody?
Water spout. Does a water spout
Anytime there's
count?
a tornado, I try to chase it, but I haven't caught one yet.
That's
When I was a kid, I lived in Oklahoma, and you could see them from a long way off. So we would see tornadoes from a long way off.
Tornadoes just scare the shit out of me.
In movies, they always make them
Same.
sound so fucking cool when they get close.
Dude, I've been
pretty scary,
terrified
dude.
of tornadoes ever since. Jesus, what's the movie? Wizard of
Twister?
Oz.
Wizard of
I was
Oz.
thinking
Even
Twister.
before
Yeah,
we were
man.
around.
Mm-hmm.
That was
You trying to
my
have no
shit
house
back in the
land on
day.
you.
38.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, so just take you away to another colorful land full of little people. Dude,
I grew up in a trailer park. so
what
I
about
was
water
scared of
spouts?
tornadoes.
Do water spouts count?
Those are all little missiles. man.
Typhoons. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they count.
Well, we were. Let's see. Daddy Red, Uncle Red. I don't know, dude. There's-
Uncle Red.
yeah, a bunch of family. We were out wade fishing. I don't know where this is. Somewhere in the Gulf between mainland Florida and Anna Marie Island. Anna Marie Island, maybe Sarasota, somewhere between Sarasota, Tampa area. Maybe
Uncle Rick is in the chat. You could show him on your Florida.
mid panhandle. We'll go mid panhandle, Gulf side, and we're out there wade fishing, and we're out there, man. We're like, I don't know, a quarter mile, half a mile out, knee deep, waist deep water. There's stingray and little sharks and shit everywhere, and if a storm comes through, like one of those like daily Florida storms, but there's a fucking water spout on the other side of the bay, which wasn't that far away, man. We were all like within the same little bay area. There's a huge water spout. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty panicked as a little kid. I was probably like 7 or 8 years old, maybe 9 or 11 years old. I don't know.
What
Pretty
happens with those? Do those come on land, or I don't even know?
That's like a over the water tornado.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're on the land, then don't you just be like, "That's sweet"?
Yeah, we weren't on the land. No,
doesn't do
we
damage.
were
Oh,
wade fishing. I'm sorry. When you're wade fishing, you're actually in the water. Not in a boat, not and we were like a quarter, half a mile out in like the shallows. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't get deep. It's super
Diamond
shallow,
Press says that's a
oyster
hurricane.
bars and shit like that.
It's a hurricane, right?
No, it wasn't a hurricane. It wasn't a hurricane. It was
It was a hurricane.
it was a typical storm and good old. But yeah, there was definitely a water spout.
I know what
There's-
he's talking about. There are water
Ooh.
spouts.
Yeah.
Is that here?
Yeah.
Is that us?
Hurricanes
Did
Did you
only
guys hear that one?
happen.
That's us.
Hurricanes only
lightning
happen in the
within,
Atlantic area. That is loud.
My neighborhood. Yeah, that's
I believe that I believe that Red is correct that a water spout is just a tornado over water.
Hey.
I'll go put him in the safe place.
So they would be pretty dangerous, although I think they're generally weaker than tornadoes on land.
They can't cross, so like a land tornado can't just transition into that, and a water tornado can't just transition into a land tornado.
Who do you think I am, Joe Rogan?
I think they.
I need to know, man.
I know. I don't know these things either. That's what I was wondering.
I've always been afraid of storms. I think just because in Michigan, that's like one of the only things that happened here more frequently. I don't know.
Welcome
crazy.
to
I
the
love
Late
storms.
Sesh Weather Channel.
The weather report.
The weather report.
A water
just-
tornado is a hurricane.
Speaking
There
of the
we
weather
go.
report,
Thank you.
I might have found another favorite
That's a bummer.
Bobby.
That's a
tune.
bummer. What's that?
The weather report.
The weather report? Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's great. man.
That's part of Terrapin, isn't it?
I like the last sentence. Never think that a body of water will protect you from a tornado.
I don't know,
Guys,
for some
I was
reason, I
banking
feel like
on
it's on
that
Blues
just a
for
little
Allah.
bit. Like I just run into the water.
Go underground, or it's close. Or if you can't go underground, you go into a fucking room with no windows.
No windows.
I've gotten over the fear now, but
Hot air
they're
balloon.
still kind of
Get in a
frightening.
balloon.
I was scared
Up-
of shit when I was a
up
kid.
and
'cause I grew up in
away,
a trailer park, and those
my
are just like little
beautiful,
missiles
beautiful
all around you.
balloon.
I don't even like being in a plane during a storm.
Well, wait a minute.
If you get a plane during a storm, I get those flashbacks to the old Twilight Zone with William Shatner looking out the window, and there's that little goblin thing that's fucking ripping apart the engine and shit.
Isn't the
like
balloon-
glaring and
isn't the
leering at him
balloon
and shit.
how? That's how Dorothy got back to Kansas, though, isn't it? In a balloon.
Yeah. Was it a balloon?
Yeah, man. They
I
got
think it
It was
up in
it was
a
all a dream.
hot air balloon.
I used to read Word Up magazine. No, okay. Cheers, chat. It is 11:17 p.m.
Guys, we made it. How long? 8 days. Like 8 days on vacation. With the facility, new nursery, everything. All of our genetics are in one place. Everything. It was very terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. But there's multiple reservoirs, lots of fail safes in different areas, hoping that it all stays good.
How much anxiety did you guys have while you were on vacation?
No, dude, I let it go. You know what I mean? If I had messes to clean up when I got back, I was gonna have to deal with it when I got back. The only honest thing that I was really hoping there was nothing like today was gonna come through. Unfortunately, no storms came through because if we're out of town and the power goes out, I don't know. Daddy Red hasn't really been walked through what to like plug in and keep plugged out, and some stuff like that, and what's good, what's not good to run the generator on and things like that. So that's about it. But otherwise, I mean, if it would be like a quick on and off, I mean, that'd be the worst thing is losing power because I have to run a DHU somehow. So I actually have been thinking about running some of those like battery backups. You get like 4, 8, 12 hours battery backup in those computer ones. I actually have one for security system that I might use the same brand, and just go with one of those. It's get like a 4-hour backup, to hook with like, I don't know, 400 watts, 500 watts, whatever it is. I think I might run my DHU. I don't know. I have to look at the ratings and
You
everything.
have to look at your DHU ratings and then
Yeah.
you'll be able to know what your runtime is, basically.
Yeah, it might work for a little while at least. Been using those inverters. I got one of those Jackery inverters. Decent one, runs a few hundred watts. Nothing crazy. But I mean, it charges phones and do some. I mean, worst case scenario, I can run an LED light off of that for sure. That thing powered a shop light at the booth when at Gems and Genetics for us. I mean, it
There
was
you
an
go.
LED shop light, but it was like 100-watt shop light. It only ran at like 10% of the usage on that thing. We ran it for a few hours. Could run a heater off of that thing. I mean, you know, fail safe for all kinds of little things. So even those little electric inverters, and that's something that, you know, gas prices are crazy. You could run it with solar, you know, if you had absolutely had to, you could like toss a solar panel outside and have that little inverter sitting inside for you. And, you know, at least it's charging if it's nice. And I guess if it's storming and your power's out, you're probably not going to have sunshine either, but you know, whatever. We're talking about a 10-day power outage, right?
Pretty good solar panels now for camping. And
That's what I was wondering.
In these last few years, they've come out with some much more efficient ones. So look into them.
100-watt, I think, is like $70, something like that. I think you can get something like that, or maybe 60-watt. Maybe it's like $1 a watt, something like shit like that. I don't know. $1.50 a watt. But yeah, you're totally right.
They're
Much
coming
more
down in
efficient.
price too.
Yeah, totally. I've been thinking about definitely stocking up on some random little things like that, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Put them on the roof of that new trailer, Red.
Yeah, and I like what Sequence is talking about with that toilet too. I mean, like a water filter, like something that's going to use less.
He really blew your mind with this
resources.
fucking 2-flush system, didn't he? We circled the wagons
I'm
back.
liking
a
it,
little bit.
man. I dig it. I really do.
Well, its closes really slow too, so you get heater
Red.
out of the way.
Red, that's not to be confused with like being a 2-flush Irish person either. So
A water
Not the
bill
same
isn't
thing.
that expensive, and well, I should knock on wood. Who knows if there's a leak in my lines right now? I haven't actually had a water bill since I've had the garden going this summer, but you get that bi-monthly water bill. You know what I mean? It always catches up to it. But I mean, yeah, dude, it's not much. It's like $30-$40 a month, which, you know, isn't that bad. But I mean, still, if I could even cut that down by just saving my own water to water my garden, I think that that's like definitely a like, you know, now that things are getting ever so slightly more expensive, it's nice to be able to like, I still want to be able to put money into my grow and shit like that, right? So I'm gonna have to like cut costs and corners where I can, and I think some of those things is like Sequence. That's a great one, you know. Spend a little bit more money on that toilet because it'll, in the long run, save you on water and, you know, help with resources and shit like that. You know, it's a good one.
You know, eventually people are going to be fighting wars over water and stuff.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
sounds like Red's gonna be fighting a war over getting this 2-flush system, man.
I'm gonna stay right here in Michigan. That's for sure.
Don't come to Michigan. It's not
I
nice
will
here. It's
flush
not
your
where you want to
way.
be. This is not the state you want to
It's
relocate
not
to.
nice here. It's not nice.
Sucks.
Shit. Well, wait a minute. We're all
Everybody's-
homeowners, so we're actually straight. So it's not that bad for us. If we were renters, it'd be a different story for sure.
Yeah.
I swear that's why people from Michigan bitch about the snow so much, when in reality it only snows for like, you know, 2.5 months of the year, and then
Yeah.
But that's
Oh,
not
they
even
used to.
consistent
That's
anymore.
That's just current history.
Dude, you might
It's
only
current
need to use
history,
the
yeah.
fucking snowblower like 1 or 2 times if you're not feeling froggy with the push shovel every once in a while.
It ain't like it was a decade ago. That's for damn sure. But
we'll get a winter every now and again.
it'll be back.
But
It's
Yeah, like
cyclic.
frequency, that global warming or global change, climate change is for real because we get way less harsh winters than what we used to for sure.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Agreed.
This year we
Used
had
to
one
be
of those
December, now it's January.
late springs, but they say that there's some crazy like was it solar minimum or maximum or something, solar maximum that's going on. It's like an 11-year cycle. We're kind of in the crest of the cycle where we're going to have the worst of the weather patterns, which is including like incredibly hot summers and incredibly frigid cold winters, but like having these really weird short and late and awkward shoulder seasons, which is like your spring and your fall, you know, to the point to where like we're gonna have like weird late frosts or like early frosts, right? It'll like we'll have like a frost in September out of nowhere because it's whatever, and it'll be 90 in December, you know, but then it'll be like hard freeze like a motherfucker in February, like normal, you know. So we're just gonna have all these crazy, and that's a lot supposedly more to do with this solar maximum thing that's going on, which is inadvertently it's also affecting, you know, with in conjunction with global warming and all this other shit, just makes it worse. You know what I mean? So we just kind of have to deal with this.
I remember
Horror.
digging like igloos and
Yeah.
stuff. when
Hell
I was
yeah.
little. Like I used to like igloo tunnels,
Mhm.
and we had so much snow.
2 feet of snow, like in
Yeah.
The end
January.
of your drive would be
Remember
like
when
4 or 5
kids went
feet tall.
outside and you had
snow.
snowball fights and stuff?
Shit, it
Yeah.
was in fucking December we had that much snow. Fucking,
Right. Now it's
for
January.
Christmas, it would be fucking ton of snow.
Always
Yeah.
snowed on Christmas.
White
there was always
Christmas.
snow.
Yeah.
I would have freaked out. I would have been like, "How the fuck is Santa going to get to the house?
Yeah.
No snow." I would have been freaked out.
Yeah. It was a good 6 inch, 8 inches of snow. Maybe not. Maybe we had a couple inches of snow. Whatever. As a kid, maybe it seemed like more, but it was always a little dusting. There was always like snowing on Christmas or something. And we still get early snow. It'll snow in like November, right? Now, I really noticed it up north because we're north of the 45th parallel where we go hunting. Uncle Rick, that's
There we go.
about here north of the thumb.
Just above the palm,
area.
buddy. Just
Yep,
above
yep.
the palm.
And what you start to notice up there is the vegetation gets different, right? A little more pines, a little more birch. Birch forest is a little bit more in the deciduous zones up there. It's very
Look at that
nice,
swampy
man.
land.
But what I would notice is that down here it wouldn't be snow. We'd go up there for opening day. So you're talking middle of November, second week of November. Gun season, and we go up there and go hunting. And every year when I was a kid, man, there would be knee deep snow. We'd be hiking. Well, as a kid, you know what's that as a kid? Maybe it's like a foot and a half. I'm short as shit. I have like
See, now Uncle Rick's all excited.
there it is. I have
He missed the Florida part.
what's the King of the Hills dad's name?
Cotton Hill.
I got Cotton.
Yeah.
Cotton Hill legs.
Did you
So-
get your shins blown off?
No,
in the
it's
war?
all just natural for me. No
It's
war.
like the second time you brought this
They just call me Stumpy, right?
Yeah, I'm all torso, so 5 feet of torso. The snow is still deep, man. As a kid, galoshes, shit. You know, we'd be up there in November, and there would be tons. And just up to a few years ago, there was heavy snows, and like you can track, you know, and all kinds of stuff. Snow's this deep, you're hiking through it, man. It's up to your shins and knees. It's difficult to walk through, and that was maybe like the last 4 or 5 years ago. Ever since, man, it's been pretty warm. I'm not gonna lie. I think last year was maybe some snow. Maybe even this past year it got a little bit of snow, but nothing like it used to. I mean, we'll still get some. It's almost like that second week of November yearly. Like it'll be totally bare bone, leaves on the ground, everything's brown when we're up there, and it's like that second week we'll get dumped on while we're there, and then that's usually the snow for the winter. That's northern Michigan, and it holds probably through May, middle of May. I don't know, whenever Tara said that they just melted off, but it's not like it was when I was a kid, man. That's for sure. A lot more snow.
Spartan, watching Boris wait for you while you were
Mhm.
doing whatever the hell you were doing was pretty fucking funny.
What was he doing? Just sitting there?
We just saw a head sitting there looking at the door the whole time, like waiting
Yeah.
for you to come back.
Yeah,
It
'cause he
reminds
knows
me of somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She
I
did a
don't wanna
lot of
walk
that
into the
today.
house.
Funny.
I went and got some of these. I haven't tried these. Have you guys tried these yet?
No,
Poppables?
but
Oh yeah.
I've heard those are good.
Yeah. I got these. They were on sale, 2 for something, and they have 2 flavors. So of course I had to go for
Yeah,
it.
the barbecue one.
No,
It's
I
great.
purposely haven't bought those because they look like the kind of snack that once you pop, you can't stop. So I would eat the whole bag because they're airy.
That's my shit.
Airy.
It's like
That's
a,
why I bought them.
I love
it. Crispix in a fucking
I was
chip.
high when that was a mistake. I was hungry and high when I went to the store. So,
dude, that's your usual thing. You go to get high and go to Sam's Club, and then you come back with all
Sam's
these
Club,
fucking banging ass bakery goods and shit.
this was Meyer this time, but yeah, Sam's Club I would have really been screwed because I
Did you
had
get
like
the Outshine bar?
no, I didn't get any ice cream. I haven't been fucking with that. I've been
Red's
good
over
with
there digging to China.
Turned over.
I wouldn't even have known what you were talking about. What the hell's an Outshine bar?
Oh, you never make it to pre-show in time, so he wouldn't know what an Outshine bar.
Right. Yeah.
Is that what you eat before the
He
show?
makes the inside jokes on his
Dude,
own show. Damn.
Yeah, the inside joke is that Spartan for multiple shows will show up with like some sweet ass snack or something, and he's like mowing into before he
Especially a
starts the show.
fucking coconut outshine bar. With vodka.
I
Mhm.
still look for those, dude. Every time
I've
I
never
go to
seen
the
'em.
store. Every time.
Yeah, man.
They're so
that's
good.
that's
why.
just one of those random things that they have at one of those random grocery stores over there that Spartan
like
shops at.
like Meyer
Meyer.
has
Meyer's got it,
Oh,
bro.
Meyer
store,
has them.
Meyer
Yeah,
Thrifty
outshine
Acres
bar.
MTA.
Bougie
No,
Meyer
I'll-
doesn't have them. Bougie Meyer does not have them, and I'm bummed.
Bougie Meyer.
You got to
So
go to
these
one
are
of the
just
outside.
plain-
That's
and
what
just
that's what
okay.
I've always been stuck by my whole life is the Bougie Meyer.
We have a pretty bougie Meyer, dude.
The question
There's
is,
like-
do you have a,
Shelves and,
do you have a
like,
trashy Walmart?
and
Yes.
nice
Yeah.
stores,
You
Is
do have
there
a trashy
anything
Walmart?
else?
Okay.
parts
I
work.
got a bougie Walmart.
Parts work.
There is no such thing
That's
as a
not
bougie
true.
Walmart, bro. Stop it.
I don't know, man. That's Celine Walmart.
Oh,
Celine.
I was thinking it's.
Oh.
Celine is pretty fucking bougie.
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. You better
Their
stop at the
fucking
stop signs in the
school-
parking
Their
lot.
high school is as big as
Better
most
stop at the
colleges.
stop signs in the parking lot at the
They got the
Celine
security
Walmart.
guards going to jump you.
no,
Come out and hit you
not the
with a-
security, just the
fucking truncheon.
ladies in the parking lot. It's Celine, man.
I don't know how to follow
Good.
that up.
I don't either. I'm leaving it alone. Somebody else can take it.
I had to laugh at Sequence yesterday, although he held his composure very well, I will say. But his least favorite store in the whole world is Home Depot, and I love Home Depot. And we had to go and return the toilet that we had ordered and pick up the new one, and then do some other little shopping and grab some more stuff. And the cart that we used to grab the new toilet to exchange, the handle was like falling off. So we had this big fucking heavy toilet in a box on this fucking cart, which took us like 1,000 years to find at Home Depot in the first place.
This is
You're in a
validating.
hardware store,
This is
just go get a wrench
validating
and tighten the fucking
Sequence's
thing up and
hatred
fix
for
it.
Home Depot.
Those fucking carts are like gold. That's what you need
The
to do.
flat
Like,
carts.
He still
start
ain't
a
saying
cart
nothing.
company outside Home Depot, people, and then just charge like a rental fee of like $2 for every person and be like, hey, here's a cart, $2. So
Did you get the one
anyway,
with the sticking wheel? So it was like.
this thing, it was like you pulled it and it was like a fucking a roller coaster thing when you pull the bar down on you and you're like, oh shit, is this gonna pull right off? But anyway, he kept his composure in the store. I'm like,
Is he Lowe's posse then?
I always end up at Home Depot. I like Menards. They generally have a better selection. Yeah,
You guys used to
don't
mock
know
me
about
about
before.
Menards too.
what I'm trying to buy. Yeah.
Oh, dude, Menards is like too good.
I
hate
only
it.
go to Menards for
I hate that
convenience.
it's too
I
good.
hate going to Menards.
I do too. I hate Menards. But
The last
But-
town I lived
but I
in, the
will-
local hardware store was so good that I
would-
would go to any of the big stores.
I know
I
where
still
everything
shop
is
there.
the Home Depot, like where all the aisles are pretty much now, and like where most of the stuff is, and so
Home Depot just disappoints me half the time I try to go there for something specific.
Man, the service is so bad there. Get
The
me on a
absence of
good
service.
box. Let's
Oh.
go.
Oh yeah, like
Dude, you
Like,
walk into Menards and you can make them, you can
pre-COVID.
act like you're blind and they will just lead you to every single thing. You're like, hey, would you happen to know where this is? They're like, well, let me just walk you right over there. You're like, no, you could just tell me. They're like, nope, I'm going to take you right over there. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
and there's somebody everywhere.
Don't get me
You
started.
can't
on
you
the
can't like
free
go
you
food.
can't
down
find a motherfucker in Home Depot.
Home Depot. You can't find him, dude. You go down this aisle. I go down. Oh, there's one dude and he's talking with like 3 people. Okay, I'll
There's
go
2
find
people
another
waiting.
guy.
You guys
That's
need to come to the
true.
Jackson Home Depot because I can't go anywhere in that fucking store without 5 goddamn people coming up to me. Can I help you?
Well, that's
Yeah,
the
I've
only
been here
one.
before. Get the fuck away from me. I didn't come to you.
That's the
Get
only
away.
one I've ever heard of.
Yeah, come to Jackson. They'll bug the fuck out of you.
I got
Bug
bugged the other day waiting for
Fucking-
Sequence too. But I mean, I don't know. I love that store just because I love looking around at all the shit that they have, and I don't know. It's just kind of cool.
Do you realize how quickly you could spend like $20,000 in a store like
I'll
that?
take
If they
that.
said you
Man.
got $20,000, you could blow it all.
Oh, in an aisle.
Couldn't find
Probably.
a 10-inch tile.
Man, I'd take Home Depot all day
12-inch
long
tiles.
over fucking
My
going to
friend.
like a fucking craft store or a
Me
fucking,
too.
fucking fabric store or some shit like that. At least I can fucking
Joanne
try to
Fabrics
find
crew,
something
I
baby.
to
don't know,
grow.
man. I'll get
Home
lost in
Depot, you can
Joanne
find all kinds
Fabrics
of shit
too.
for a grow in, man.
Yep.
And that's like the
true.
original grow stores, Home Depot.
I have done a lot of grow shopping.
Ace
at Home
Hardware.
Depot.
I used to grow in their buckets.
What are you trying to build there, Sonny? Well, like a
Why do you
giant
need all these PVC fittings
refrigerator.
for? Right, exactly. What are you trying to make? Don't
Building
worry
a
about
giant refrigerator. Oh, dude, I was spending hundreds of dollars on this
Drip
crazy,
irrigation.
elaborate PVC trellis that I made. Oh my gosh, I got a big project. Oh yeah, it's a lot of projects. There's hundreds of dollars in PVC tees and couplers and crap. Good lord. I think I spent $100 on each 4x4. It's crazy. It did kind of tie in. It was like a trellis that tied into the irrigation system. So I thought that it was all genius. It was just way too over engineered.
We bought a 4x4 or a 2x. What did we buy?
I don't know what
6.
you're talking about.
The deck board.
Yeah.
2x4.
We bought
Five
a
and a-
one,
five and a quarter.
whatever it is, 2x6.
2 10-footers.
7-footers.
A deck board the other day to fix the issue where the cat had to come out. And I don't know how much it was. It was only like $10 or something. It wasn't too terrible, but I don't know what that is in comparison to what wood prices used to be.
It's really come down again.
Has it?
Yeah, 2 years ago that shit was ridiculous. Well, even last year it was ridiculous.
Yeah, last
it was
year
like
was still pretty
$8,
high.
$9, $10 a fucking board, man.
I saw an interesting comparison about the quality of wood between today's lumber and lumber that was. I'm just going to throw 100 years out there, but let's just say around 100 years. It was early 1900s, where a lot of our structures are still standing. Right, we can probably agree with that one. Like, there's still a lot of buildings from like the 1930s, 1940s. I think my parents' home was built in the 40s, and they're living in there, no problem. I think
That's
baby.
so fucked up. You said 100 years ago, and I instantly went back to like the 1800s.
No,
Like-
dude.
like, you
Isn't
know
that
what I'm
fucked up?
saying? Like,
Yeah, isn't that
fuck,
fucked up?
man.
That's fucked
Yeah.
up, man. It's almost 2030. You know what I mean? So here we are. 100 years ago was the Great Depression era. So
Pyramid's been around for a while.
yeah, the pyramids. No, so anyway, back to the wood thing.
Pyramids have been
A
around for a
normal
while.
2x4, a normal 2x4 in an old studded home, let's say from the 20s or the 30s, it's going to be a little bit bigger. It's probably more like 2x4 inches or an
Pretty
inch
close,
and 3/4 or
Right.
4
And the
inches,
other ones
right?
are 1.5 by 3.5.
Yeah, it's like more like an inch and a half. Yeah, about 3.5. And so not only is the size a little bit, but if you look at the ring, and we're talking like the actual. Now this is not fact checked. All right, this is like looking from like a meme or something. But according to this data that this person was displaying, the rings, according to this person's photos, that they were the same. Called same type of tree, right? So let's just say that it's a pine, a white pine, for example. This 2x4 had like 40 lines in it, meaning that it was like 40 years old, the 40 rings through this 40 growth seasons in just a small section. It was very dense, even though it was pine and it was a softwood. It was a very dense, which making it a very hard pine wood, right? Then a 2x4 today, it only had like 5 rings in it. It was like the rings were very wide. The gaps were much wider, much more of a soft wood. And even though it's because it's a white pine,
that's kind of by design.
right. Yeah. So we're it's like
Forest
GMO pine
is
trees.
sustainable now, so they
Yeah.
have to harvest their own wood and that sort of thing. So you're looking at they planting trees now that grow a lot faster.
They grow much faster, right?
Yeah, so they get those growth characteristics
And it creates a structurally less integral,
I think the
Less
engineering is
strictly.
pretty sound and stick to
Properties.
homes.
Speaking of engineering and the pyramids, we can go back to Spartan. Wanted to talk about the pyramid.
The wood itself will rot.
Aliens.
I didn't really want to talk about it. I'm just saying we're talking about people building shit that lasts for a long time. I know the pyramids
Yeah.
are still here.
'Cause
I did a
they're
pretty good job on that.
stone.
Rocks are a good
and-
ingredient.
Yeah, the oldest shit that I know about is in Turkey. It's all along like the whole Göbekli Tepe and all that shit. It's like, you
That's
know,
even-
10.
yeah.
It's like 10,000 BC. So super fucking old. And then it was funny because when I was in college back in the 90s, when we first heard about this, I was like, holy shit, it's amazing they found this. And then in the fucking almost 30 years since then, they have found a whole string of them all over. And some of them are older and some of them are newer all across.
Well,
Turkey
that's
like
the
that.
oldest now. That one particularly.
Yeah,
And
before
what's
that, it
crazy
was
about
like,
that one is like there was
Capel
signs
Hayot.
of it being covered up. Like
They had a roof on it, yeah. And
no,
then
no,
it was
like-
covered
no,
in
like-
too as well.
yeah, like somebody went in and tried to bury it for whatever reason. That's why it was preserved so well.
Yeah. The
Okay.
it's not Göbekli Tepe, it's the other one that I was watching a video on. And it's called, the name of the channel,
There
if
you
you
go.
want to watch cool shit on this, is called Ancient Architects. And it's this dude from England that looks at all kinds of weird shit, like the pyramids, and then he goes over to South America and has a lot of stuff on all of that as well. And then
The Neolithic period, it said
The
it was
Neo-
when
yeah.
it was used.
Well,
Jeez.
here's an interesting one for you is people don't realize that the UK, you know, like England and Scotland and shit, you know, like 8,000 BC, that used to actually still be connected, that the English Channel did not really exist at that point. That the land that sank there is called Doggerland, which is like, oh shit. And then there used to be, at one point, there was a land bridge that went across Lake Huron quite a ways too, which, you know, as you know, the melt happened and everything else, it rose up. So then there's that really old ass fucking stone that's in Lake Michigan that has like the mammoth carved on it, which that's
Yeah.
super dope too. But they
They
don't
found
really.
several sites now, not just that one. They
Yeah,
found a
that's
couple.
been several years back too. Yeah, so old shit's cool.
Old shit's cool, dude.
That's how
For
I stay
sure.
relevant. Right, Blue
And knowing
Kids?
that stuff sometimes helps you in a trivia contest, you know, if you happen to find
Oh
it.
yeah. I'll take potent potables for 1,000, Alex.
You know, stuff like that. Jeopardy.
I could hear a laugh from the other room.
It's so wrong.
That in my dreams.
Ah, shit. We are 18 minutes to hash time. If you really have to go dig deep to find some things, now would be the time to collect your gear. And at the same time, if you guys have any grow questions, make sure you toss them in the chat and we will talk about them for a minute or two.
I've been trimming up. I still got a bit to do, but I've been trimming up this Cobra milk. So I got scissor hash saved over here in the corner of my tray for hash time.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
How is that to trim?
It's fucking. It's kind of a. I would say it's not easy.
A lot of
and it's
little
bordering. It's not all leaves. It's not like terrible. It's not enough to like cut the strain. It's a little more work, but it's mostly because it's super like sticky, which I'm okay with that. I'll take that
Yeah,
trade
man.
off. But yeah, it's been
Sounds good to
there's
me.
quite a bit. I'm looking at it now. There's been quite a bit of trim in there, so it's got quite a bit as far as leaves. Go ahead, Pan Lady. I'm sorry.
No, that sounds good to me. Sticky is
Mhm.
the yummy stuff.
Painted Lady, how sticky is that Planet of the Grapes?
So,
I don't think I ever grew Planet of the Grapes.
What's the other one? The Grape Diamonds.
Oh, Grape Diamonds is pretty sticky.
There we go.
It's pretty. That looks good, Spartan.
Yeah, it does.
so yeah.
Look at
Yeah,
the
it looks
focus. Good shit.
So yeah, it's real sticky and it's real pine and fucking fruity pebbles to me, but then not everybody agrees with, so maybe I love this shit though. But it gives me the munchies as you saw, as you witnessed, and it puts me
We heard too.
yeah, and Kawasaki too. Like
Jay wants to know, can the color of the pistils and flower be a clue to something? And he's asking about outdoor. I
A
guess
little
I'm wondering
bit.
what color you're talking about. Did they amber out early? Are you talking about, like some crazy
Yeah.
colors you never see typically?
Usually they start off as white, and if they change to any other color, it means they've been touched either by a person or a something, a wall or whatever.
Beating against each other.
They'll change
If it's really
color.
windy.
Yeah.
Or if they get watered on, they'll change color. And lots of other things will change their color as well.
Then
Used to
there's-
be old grower tale that was a signature of flower time and stuff like that, and I would not go by that.
He says they were hot pink.
I was just going
Um,
to. That's funny because I was just going to bring that up because Baked ran into that with papaya last year. Is outdoors papaya had pink pistils, and he took clones of that papaya and grew it indoors, and it didn't do the
Did
same
not.
thing.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I've heard the same thing with was it Mr. Trees stuff? Family Tree Seeds, I think. His Pam Anderson has pink pistils outdoors, but I'm not sure about indoors.
Interesting one for me was I was trying to do an experiment in flower before I bought all of my LED lights. So I had a plant that had part of it was covered with a 400 watt HPS, part of it was covered with a 600 watt HPS, another part of it had 240 watts of 3K lighting, and then the other one was a blurple. And the area that had the blurple threw pink pistils, but the other parts of the plant did not. So I've always thought it had something to do with spectrum or expression like that.
Yeah. Maybe there's some far red in that blurple, maybe.
I'm not sure what it is.
That's interesting.
My plants still love my old blurples in veg for sure.
For veg, yeah.
And then I put a red spectrum one in flower just to add a
some
different
weight.
spectrum. Add some red, and they seem to like it. I don't know.
All my plants outside are loving life right now. My 4 autos I got going. They're all grown really tall with like no real side branching because my cover crop is going nuts.
Did you cut it down any or no?
No. If it continues, I'm going to, but I'm kind of liking that it's doing the lollipopping for me. So I'm just letting it do its thing because it's kind of working out. So I like that. I just go out there and I go like this around the plant, push down off the cover crop.
Spread it out, man.
Yep. And push it to the outside.
I am smoking some CBG. So give that a shot.
Oh, nice.
The white CBG. It has, what's it have? 9.2% CBG in it. So that'll be cool.
Those auto flowers, though, I was pretty impressed. They already have probably stalks about as big around as my pinky already.
Nice.
How many days from seed is that?
I don't even remember. I wrote it down, but
okay.
I probably planted them. Not even a month, maybe a month.
Okay.
But they're probably a foot tall. Oh, I'm getting rain now.
We've got a random volunteer that I ended up finding, and it's like a foot tall. I didn't even notice it was just popping out of the strawberries. All of a sudden, it got taller than the strawberries, and the leaves are on it are huge. And I'm just looking like, holy shit, there's a cannabis plant right there where I didn't plant a cannabis plant. So it was cool. There's probably a Girls Gone Wild dropped a seed last summer.
If it's purple, you'll know.
Yeah, if it's purple, I'll know, I guess.
It's in the strawberries.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
We
Are you going to leave it?
Oh, yeah. We put a strawberries and cream right in the middle of our strawberry patch. So we'll see how that works out.
Cool. Maybe it'll add flavor to it.
Wonder.
Wouldn't that be cool if it did add it more strawberry to it?
Strawberry.
Man, there's nothing better than ripe strawberries.
I taught my little brother today about eating whipped cream and strawberries, and now he's like obsessed. Every time he had a strawberry all day, he needed like a nice dollop of whipped cream.
Yeah.
And he's 5. He's a baby.
Mhm.
Her
Oh, yeah.
21-year-old brother.
There's nothing better than just going out and grabbing strawberry though, right out of your backyard. It's fucking good. Get it right at the right ripeness. If you can get it before the birds get to it.
Yeah, that's the only problem. Get them. I can barely get to my tomatoes once they turn ripe. Or the chipmunks come up there and they're like, "Let me take a bite out of this and see if it's tasty." Nope. Next. And I'm like, God
I'm having
damn
a problem. I am having a problem with a fucking rabbit. I'm going to do something. I'm going to just get chicken wire and put it under the fence or whatever. He's coming in under the fence. I caught him, chased him out. It's always a good thing to do is watch it when you chase them out. Watch where they go because that tells you where they're coming in.
Send quibs out after him.
See,
Oh, he does.
Run.
He goes after him.
I've got so many barricades around my yard, Spartan. I've got logs and bricks. And every time I put something there, another hole pops up, and I gotta barricade it with something else and fill it with more dirt or put a plant there, or sticks or some shit, dude. I've almost got them all. I swear. There's nothing else they can do. I've got literally physical barriers that they can't get through. The next
Time
one
will
is
tell.
we're just gonna fence off the whole half of the yard. I'm so tired of having to build garden spaces. I'm just gonna fence off the whole fucking thing. Ha! Now you can't get any little shits.
That's what I was thinking about doing. Just running a fence, like a short
Live under
4-foot fence or
They
something.
live in the yard. They're under the deck. They're like next to the house. They're just around, you know. Fuck.
Yeah.
The yard has so many rabbits. And I kind of I don't mind them out in the yard because they're pooping and doing their thing and just stay out of the garden.
They're not gonna.
Jim B. Handcraft is asking, are blueberries hard to grow? I haven't. I want to grow them. They're on my list of things to grow. I haven't grown them yet, but I do know that you want to get more than one. You want to be able to have a couple, and usually if
You don't want to grow blueberry.
you want to grow blueberry. You want to grow blueberries.
You want to grow like a hedge, kind of.
2 or 3 plants, yeah.
Yeah.
That way they can
Yeah.
cross pollinate and all that good happy stuff. You get
But-
more berry production.
Then they're not hard to grow. They just come back every year, and you don't really have to do much to them
They're
at
like-
all.
Slightly acidic soil.
Got
So
a few
good,
blueberry
too.
plants.
And
Got a couple of
rhubarb.
blueberry plants that are like 4 years old. They need to be moved. Then we have a couple that are brand new this season.
Got like 3.
3, yeah, 5 total.
I was happy. I checked all of my seedlings this morning when I took the dome off, and I have roots out of the bottom of the root riot now. Just that one long shooter root out of it. So I'm going to give it a few more days, and then, like you, Spartan, I have some cover crop that is over 12 inches now. Some of it's just booming, man. So I think I'm just going to plant those cubes right in there and give it one good top watering and rock and roll. I'm just going to wait a few more days to make sure that I have enough roots out so that it's not going to struggle.
Yeah, cut that cover crop back a little bit so it doesn't get outshaded. Doesn't shade out the plant.
Right.
That's cool having the cover crop already there because that'll keep that soil nice and moist.
That was the hope. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, they're gonna establish well. I'd put them out there now if you're already seeing roots.
Transplant and see what happens.
No.
The only problem is my dog this week was trying to eat my cover crop, so I'm going to have to make sure that he's not out there because if he eats
Just
my
trying to help you
seedling,
keep it short, man.
he's part Billy Goat apparently.
So is my dog, man.
Painted lady caught Diamond chewing on her plants outside.
Mhm.
Oh man, she was ridiculous yesterday when I was trimming them all up out there and lollipopping and doing some stuff. She was lollipopping on her own with the next plant. I was like, all of a sudden I heard this, and I look, and she's just going to town
the
back
branch.
there.
Mm.
But it was fine because it was all the bottom stuff I was taking off anyway. But I just didn't want her eating all that. Somebody was already hacking up stuff, and one of the animals from grass, eating grass and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
My bad.
You can't. My bad. I couldn't find the Pepto, babe.
Fucking, he'll eat kale raw.
I swear all of her cats go out and just start eating grass. They're just walking around the lawn chewing on the grass.
Are you growing catnip anywhere on the yard?
I used to, but they didn't like the fresh stuff. I would bring it in. I would bring in leaves, and they were just like, "The fuck's that?" So no, I don't. I don't know. I thought I moved it, but I don't think it survived the transplant. So it was fine. It was like a lemon catnip, so I don't know if it was the lemon that put them off or what it was, but they didn't like it. So
She does like to give the cats catnip when we smoke, so that we all get to get a buzz
Communal
on.
high, right? Yeah.
yep, they love their Pippi.
You got to turn the lights down low for them, and put the light show thing on for them.
Kick on the black
Yeah.
light.
Yeah, man.
Black
Get
light,
it.
little
Black
laser
light.
show. Burn some incense.
Get out the nog. 5 minutes to hash time.
Ooh, it's
Chomp,
pouring
chomp.
here now.
I can't
Plants
hear
are
it.
about ready to harvest, right? So by next time we have a show, we might have harvested the indoor room or
Mhm.
some of
Oh,
them.
nice.
How's your plan to do that? Do you have ones that you're going to take down first by flower date, or are you just going to say, okay, we're done. We're going to do 48 hours of darkness and whack them?
I've been checking the trichomes, so they're about ready, and yeah, so about ready to harvest, and
Want to see that Jack Tripper?
I'm just, yeah, it looks like it's coming out pretty well, so we'll see, but I'm just ready to just grow outdoors and kind of take a break from the indoor growing and the lights and the buckets and the all that kind of stuff. So and grow outdoors with the hose and all that kind of stuff. It's fun. So
HOSCHOES.
I mean both.
From different area codes, of course.
That's right.
Of course.
And hose in all of them. But yeah, so it'll be
Somebody-
nice to just grow outdoors.
Everybody
I've never just done that.
tap your mic.
I tend
Jiggle
to
your
usually do
cord.
that anyway every year, as I tend to scale back a little bit in the summertime to help with energy costs.
Mhm.
And I've usually got outdoor grow going anyway, and that's going to yield more than my indoor grow anyway. So
Yeah.
I tend to do that.
Yeah, I definitely don't need the harvest for a while, until outdoor harvest really with this last harvest that's coming up. So yeah, it'll be nice.
It
It's
was
raining.
you, Red. It was you all along.
Just read all along.
No, I don't think so. I muted and it was still going.
I don't
It's
hear
not doing
anything.
it now.
Everybody unmute and we'll see who it is. Who's the culprit?
So, I don't know.
I don't know. It's past now.
I don't know. I hope it's not me. I got to use this mixer this weekend. I got a gig. I
You made it make an even worse sound, and then it went away.
I muted before it went away. It was still. I muted. I muted quick to make sure it wasn't me.
I'm convinced it was red.
It was red all along.
So
I said everybody tap your things. Somebody tapped it and it worked. So you got it. Whatever you did it.
He's still trying to come up from underneath it, spinning spotlights every which way but loose. It wasn't me. Whoop.
I got it figured out.
Aldridge, no, I didn't put sequence outside with the plants. He dug the holes, so kind of, indebted a little bit.
All right, I got to shut these windows.
She would make me dig my own grave, I bet.
Wow,
With my own
That one
shovel.
needs to be a little bit longer. Oh, it's a little bit longer. Okay. Bend over. Kick you right into it.
we were watching Ozark tonight, and they were digging a grave, and it's like, man, I can't even imagine how long that would take. It's forever.
Well, about 3.5 hours or so.
Till you hit tree roots or a rock or an old
Electricity.
foundation, then you're kind of fucked.
Trick
Yeah,
is you
then
got to
you
use a
start
pick.
over.
You need one of those picks.
What are you, a minor 49er?
Yeah, you got to use a miner's pick, man. That's the trick. getting through.
How are
some-
you know tricks to burying bodies?
Oh, just
Yeah,
digging,
back
just digging
Yeah.
up. I
holes.
don't know.
I'm gonna quit talking shit to him.
Careful.
I don't know.
Just about digging holes. A lot,
Oh,
a
tricks to
lot
digging
of hole digging.
With hose, right?
The holes. Pulling up trees. I'm not kidding about that. We're doing a fence. We're about to
Hash time.
landscape or just basically make a whole half of the backyard a garden. So it's already like a third of the way there. We're just gonna finish off it.
Man, gardens are a lot of fucking work. A lot of work.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man.
We ate a salad yesterday out of it though. And then
Ooh,
this,
nice.
this afternoon I picked my lunch basically. Wandering around, I was watering everything. I ate some collards, some arugula, some chard, I probably had a strawberry. I ate a strawberry, but it was like shared between me and whatever else ate the other half of it. So like I only ate half of it. And then there were some
Chipmunk.
mulberries. I picked some mulberries that are just starting to go ripe. I have to get those early in the morning before the birds do. And then I probably had some herbs. Yeah, snacked on some dill. Yeah, snacked on some other stuff. I don't know. There's all kinds of shit back there I'm snacking on. Mostly just leaves, greens. You know. A radish, big chunky purple radish. Had me a few of those already. Radishes are coming in. Most of my radish is all bolted, and honestly, probably 90% of certain varieties that I've gotten don't even have a bulb. I don't know if it's a male versus female, if that's what it is, but there's a radish in the seed pack that it just goes straight to flower. It doesn't bulb up. It's a lot of them usually. Only some of them will bulb. I'll get really nice bulbs, you know, and some of them I will have good bulbing success, you know, but there's a lot that just go straight to like this nice bolted flower, which if you do it, sometimes they're like this tall, you know, as a flower. And I actually have a radish that's taller than me. I'm almost 6 feet tall. So
You gotta play heavy metal music for him, Red, I think.
that's what's getting so tall.
Almost.
Fucking sweet.
Some Motorhead.
Radish.
I only planted one garlic head's worth of garlic, but it all sprouted. So I'm gonna be having tons of garlic come through if the rabbit stops eating it. And then my radishes, I've been collecting about 3 a day, and I'm pretty getting close to the end, I think, on those. Like you, I'll feel before I pull, and a lot of them that are in there that have these huge green heads. You know, the green part, it's got tons of leaves. But when I feel down in there, there's just a little thin root. Like, the fuck?
Yeah, it's just like a little root. It doesn't
Yeah.
bulb or anything. I can see it. Like, because the bulb will like halfway, it's like a beet, you know.
Yeah, it sticks right up
Like
out of the ground.
stick out of the ground. So you can almost just like brush it away a little bit and see whether there's a bulb. And there's just like, no, there's just a little root. It's a tap root. It almost looks like a little carrot starting out, and then it like the feeder roots go in the ground. And like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let you go, and you're already bolted, so I guess you're not gonna do much else. I'm guessing it's the difference between like a male and a female plant, but I could totally be wrong.
My
Yeah,
spinach is my
radishes.
baby, I guess baby spinach. My baby spinach is all ready to be harvested, so that's cool. I'm just taking all my greens and juicing them, man, and having those for breakfast. And I'll throw like pineapple or something sweet in with it, or an apple or something. And
Super
just
healthy.
drink it like a shot. It's the only way to get through that much greens. Like I let that kale go to seed last year, and it just seeded out half of an entire bed. So now I just have kale for days, and
It's
it's bitter
everywhere.
after, you know, in the warm months it turns kind of bitter. So fuck that. I've just been juicing the shit. Shout to fit grown goddess, I think it is, on Instagram. But we interviewed her on the Let's Be Buds, and she's from Michigan too. And but on her, she's like a fitness based page, but she was showing juicing. I'm like, oh, that's a fucking good idea. So I started doing it, and I'm glad I did. So now I have a use for a lot of these vegetables that, you know, last year I was just giving them away, and then trying to find more places to give it away because I just had too many. Now I can grow as much as I want and just juice the fuck out of them.
You get more minerals out of your food if you do it that way. You kind of bypass the whole chewing process and the whole process of digesting. And
I'm missing out on some of the fiber and all that, but I
bioactive.
just dump it in the compost pile so it goes back to where it came from. I got carrots going out there, but theirs still looks pretty small. They still got ways to go. I got broccoli that look great, but they're not putting any heads on yet. What else came up? What was that?
Same.
Oh, same, yeah. It sounds like you guys are a little bit further along where you are there, because if your mulberries are starting to turn already, mine are just starting to be like the first like red. But I mean, it's not even. You all right? You all right, Red?
Those are dying.
I'm watching you die over there, man.
I'm okay.
Hang in there, little buddy.
I got it, guys.
Put your arms above your head.
I'm okay.
Have
My
some
tomatoes
water.
are banging. There's already some green tomatoes forming on some, and one of my ornamental pepper plants has had its first flower, so that was cool.
Ooh, nice.
But yeah, I think. Oh, and my cucumbers are starting to take off, and squash.
Our spaghetti squash is going nuts right now.
I got zucchinis. All I got for squash this year.
Diamond
One
took
thing
out
that's-
our watermelon.
Oh, I forgot to
Took
do.
a
I'm gonna
watermelon.
plant some watermelon. I forgot. I got to plant watermelon and sunflowers.
Holy shit.
Who was that?
Big one.
Yo. What up, though?
Sequence.
He stepped into the picture like a Yeti, man.
It didn't look like him. I was like,
It's a
is
little
that
Luzerne
another-
action.
Who's that
Who's
guy?
that?
Yep. It was a big one.
Was that his
That was a
thunder?
booma.
That was his thunder.
The big boomer.
It was a boomer.
So California citrus is an okay. I would give it like not a thumbs up or down. It's just in the middle.
What fruits are supposed to be California citrusy?
Oh, that's a good question. That's an excellent question. Now I need to know.
Oranges,
Wow,
tains.
it's the kombucha culture, black tea, green tea, kiwi juice, kumquat, Meyer. That's interesting. It's Meyer lemon juice,
Oh, those
apricot juice,
fire lemons are the best.
apricot, and then pressed ginger juice and vanilla extract.
A
Does
gin
the
and
vanilla really
tonic
come
with a
through?
Meyer lemon is fucking life changing.
Life changing. Wow, that's pretty strong words.
For those that like a gin and tonic, try it with a Meyer lemon. Your life will be changed. That sounds good. I don't know. I finally can taste and smell again. It's really nice.
Okay, so how long was that? Where?
I noticed that it would come and go. It was
Okay.
really weird. It lasted about a week that I couldn't taste and smell anything, and then I started being able to taste certain things, but not everything. It was really strange.
Can you
And
taste the
then,
cannabis now?
Yep.
Perfect.
And so the taste has pretty much come back 100%. Smell is like maybe 90, but yeah, it's getting there. But it was, man, that was terrible. So
That's like the most scary thing to me about it. I know it's stupid, but damn, I want to be able to at least taste my weed and smell it and stuff.
And food, it was very strange.
I still don't think I'm back to normal. That shit was
Really?
a year and a half ago. I lost my sense of smell for a good couple weeks. Yeah, it was terrible. I don't label my weed. I usually just judge my weed. Well, she's around. I label my
smell.
weed now, but yeah, I'm usually just like, this is this one. This is this one. You know, I can usually go with that. I was fucked for like a few days. I'd really be like, is this? Wait a minute, what is?
You thought you were throwing with the three part again, didn't you? Because it all tasted
dude,
the same.
dude. Yeah, I was terrible.
Oh man.
It was terrible. No distinction at all.
It was not fun for sure. The only thing good about eating was texture. So like if food had like crunch and other stuff, it was better. But Yeah.
I've got.
weird.
Do you
That's
have?
weird.
Do you have
Change your
like?
whole way of being.
Do you have allergies or sinus issues to where like now or like in the past or?
I
I don't mean now, but like in the past, have you had them?
know, but
See,
Sequence is dealing with some. He keeps saying every time something happens, he's like long COVID.
Yeah, then that's possible.
He just likes fucking pulling your chain. That's all.
I feel like the whole
Everything
thing that happened to
long COVID. I don't know.
my like ears getting plugged up, that shit all came back again out of nowhere. It went away after I was talking about it last night. It was this thing where my ears
Thought you
plug
talked it
up.
up.
My ears plug up between the solstices. No, it's been coming on. Hopefully it won't happen. But after I quit smoking cigarettes, it went away. This thing was an occurrence, like annual occurrence for like a decade, while I was smoking cigarettes really heavy. And it was like really bad in my allergies. And I'm really nasally as it is. I'm like one of those Midwestern nasally people. I'm very, very clogged up here.
How's it
all
go?
the time.
Yeah.
I'm just talking from my eyes, basically. You have to talk from your forehead. You don't really have much of a chest talk.
Shout through your nose.
Yep. Yeah, that's most of us Midwesterns. But I really do. I'm like very, very congested up in my forehead all the time. And it's really like it's in my ears and up in here, you know what I mean? It'll like relieve itself every so often, but that's in the summertime. It just gets really plugged up, and you can hear it in the speech, in your vocals and stuff like that. You get really raspy, but that's a lot of it from smoking. But since COVID, man, it all fucking came back again, and I'm back to like being a little bit more congested than I usually am. You know what I mean? Even in the summertime. When I quit smoking cigarettes, all that shit went away. Few years later, and that shit really cleared up. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know, but he's having issues too. Like certain days he can breathe and everything's good, and then other days he's got like fluid in his ears or like stuff's going on. So
Have you ever tried like a real high in pinene strain red to try to maybe clear you out?
Oh yeah, I'm always smoking Citrique. And it does too. That's why I'm kind of coughing. It's weird. That's what I was just smoking right now, and it'll usually clear me out. Death Star,
Dude,
Death Star is heavy.
GG4 it will fucking clear you out if you've got a congested chest or anything like that. Roll up a nice joint and smoke it, and you will cough like crazy, and just like you were a few minutes ago. But afterwards, you'll be like,
that one triggers my sinuses, like actual sinuses.
It'll clear you out.
It'll actually like
make me have to
like go blow my nose. You know what I mean? And stuff me up. Yeah, it'll make her start sneezing from trimming it. I trimmed it today with no issues. It should be fairly fine.
The sneezing while trimming sucks, man.
I did want to smoke some
just with that strain.
Not glue, but breath, and it's the same terp. It's Gorilla Glue terp. The damn plant reminds me of glue. It might even be Gorilla Glue. They rebranded Gorilla Breath. I don't know. It's awfully Gorilla Gluey. But it sure might be Gorilla Breath. Yeah, I don't know. It's just big. The nugs are... I don't know. It just awfully smells like... I just can't believe it's not Gorilla Glue.
Speaking of gluey, that reminds me of one of the best GG4 crosses that I've been able to try. It was called King Gluey the 14th. It was a cross between the King Gluey and Gorilla Glue, and that shit was fucking great.
That's a perfect name.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Noob, I agree. Can I just give Noob's Gardens a round of applause again for all of it, and your photography is always great. But those straw flowers, have you guys seen his straw flowers on the Noob Gardens account? Are so beautiful. I told Sequence yesterday when I saw some pictures of them, I'm like, I've got to get some of these. I need to get some of those straw flowers. But yeah, cheers, Noob. Your gardens are always beautiful. So, speaking of vegetables and everything, he's grown everything from Baker Creek pretty much. So
hey, the chard that they show in their packet with like the orange stalks and like the red pretty stalks and the veins in the leaves.
Uh-huh.
That's legit. The chard we have is legit. It has like the orange
Rainbow
stalks.
chard, man.
Yeah, it looks
Yep.
really cool. And it tastes really good too. It's not
Yeah, it does.
not too bitter. It's really nice. It's got a nice little sweetness to it. I'm gonna Spartan, looking at like just cooking down your greens also. Especially with like the broccoli greens because they're incredibly fibrous. But you could
I eat
chop
those
up
raw,
lettuce,
bro.
but
I
you
just
can.
peel them off. It tastes just like broccoli to me.
Okay, well, other people in chat cook down your greens. You cook them bad boys down. You can take like 2 pounds of greens, a shit ton, and cook
Oh,
them
it
down
just
into,
goes right
like,
down to nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got two tablespoons full basically. Chow it up real fast. Hey, you're gonna lose a little bit of the nutrients by cooking it, but you cook it at a really low temp and add some spices. We have a ton of just random collards coming in right now that are like self-seeding. Just have like this whole wild patch of self-seeded collard greens back there eating them. I'm like, I don't think this is thistle. So I started eating it, and I'm like, no, I don't. This is spicy. So I had to like look it up as how spicy is collard just in case I'm not like eating something poisonous,
So you close your throat. Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, all right, let me just kind of like check it for a minute. And it was like, yeah, it's spicy collard. Just all over, like huge patch surrounding
Did you
our.
plant one of those there?
I had planted collard,
So that
spinach and
makes
collards and
sense.
stuff. Yeah, and it's been coming up like the last 3 years or something. It pods similar to radish too. It actually, I'd be surprised if radish isn't part of a brassica family because it throws a very similar flower and a pod and a seed, very similar to spinach and chard and collards and stuff like that.
Mr. Greenfinger said he lost his greenhouse today.
Oh shit!
My greenhouse got torn from the wind today. That's fucking shit.
That sucks. R.I.P. the greenhouse.
Well, maybe you can
That
fix
reminds
that.
me.
Yeah, hopefully you can rebuild soon.
I've been going over helping Bates do a little bit of time on getting that build out in his spot done.
Building, yeah.
And,
How's that
yeah.
coming?
It's going pretty good. We got all the ceilings done. So we started in one flower room on the walls. And we got like one wall around the corner and the other wall mostly done up to a corner. I think is where we're at.
That's with the panels.
I can't. He's got it all planned out. He's got to figure out like what walls we have to get up because if you do one side of the wall, you don't have to do the other. You have to leave the other side open so they can insulate. So he's planning out which walls all to do so he can get. So he doesn't have to have them come out 4 or 5 times. He wants to come out, once if he can do it. So I'm not sure exactly how far we have to go before we're done and waiting on them again. But I think we got a bit of work to do yet. But it's looking awesome now that we got especially in that one room where we have you get the ceiling up and you got the wall up with it, and you can just look at what that looks like and just picture that in your mind what the rest would look like done, and it's gonna be awesome. You can literally walk in there and just spray it off with a hose when you're done, and
that's gonna be nice.
Watertight because we're like caulking between each panel.
What kind of use like a foaming cleaner or something on that in between cycles to clean the walls?
Use whatever, yeah. We use whatever we want to use.
Okay,
doesn't matter. That's watertight. We're caulking between each panel and everything. So
sweet. Does he have an idea on when he's going to finish?
What?
Does he have an idea on when he's going to finish?
You could use those scrubbing bubbles. It reminds me of like
they race around the top and
like a shower, like just being in like a big shower. You could.
Does he have a floor drain in there?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
It's beautiful.
Thunderstorms coming through.
Or he's a serial killer, guys. Like
that could be that.
That's a crazy space.
Start talking about Huey Lewis in the news. We got to run.
Who's got the thunder?
That was Panther.
Okay. I don't see any cats, so it probably is yours because the cats are hightailed out of there.
They honestly don't mind. They're in the other room snoozing.
Lazy ass fucking cats. They'll just get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and start racing around.
Man, 5 a.m. They like to wake me up for food.
Oh,
I guess it depends on how they wake you up. If it's a chorus, a cacophony of cats meowing at you, that's one thing.
No, it's Baby, but you know what's funny? Baby has adopted Sequence, so now she used to walk all over me when she wanted food in the morning, and just she starts just walking on me, and then she'll lay down, and then after a little while she'll go, and then every
Start chirping.
10 seconds or so she'll make her noise until I wake up, and then she's like, "Oh, you're up, good."
Oh, I'm surprised.
So guess what? Now she's over there bugging him, and I'm dying
Loving it, right? Just
because he
elbowing
can't even
you.
sit down for 2 seconds without her walking over and getting in his lap. She loves him so much. It's so funny. So yeah, it kind of makes me laugh. I can't deny it. It's a giggler.
You're
But
like, yeah.
no, and then other than that, she tries for a while. But if you tell her to go lay down, she will for a while. But when Foz wants some food, he just comes up there and just kind of is like, yeah,
Relentless.
kind of. So, anyway, it's fine. Woo! I think we're gonna get a big one. I'm gonna mute.
I think we're gonna get a big one.
My dogs are hungry. They don't fuck with me. Or, I mean, maybe they're just patient. I don't know. But
Dogs
No,
do what works,
if
Spartan.
I
So if it
sleep in-
works to sweat you, then they will definitely do it again even quicker to get the same results.
yeah,
If begging doesn't work, then that's that.
yeah. If I'm tired, I guess I'll just sleep through them anyway. Maybe. But they seem to just sleep as long as until I get up, and then they get up, and
Right on.
they know as soon as I get up, they're going to get food though, because they're running to their bowl, and they won't let me forget. That's for sure.
That's what's funny. Diamond's getting up with the kittens now. She's like, "Oh, it's food time." She
Don't
runs
forget
down.
about
I'm
me.
like, "Diamond, just go lay down. I'll just, and I have to get up now." And she's just like,
Nope, I'm gonna get fed.
so funny. Woo. Lucas, I know it's here, man.
Right at you.
I feel bad. Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
good.
I'll mute.
I have some Pine Walker, and the reason this is kind of a cool one because this has 7.9% CBD, but it also has 6.2% CBDV,
Oh, that's
and it has 3% terps. So it's called Pine Walker.
Are the Terps pining?
Yeah, they actually are.
That's badass.
I like pine.
I can remember when we first started doing these shows. We used to, who was it? It was Spartan, me, Sequence, Jack Greenstock, E Gardens. It was like, who can find a pine plant? Remember?
Oh yeah. I do remember that. I think I want to say Jack was telling me he's going to start going through some called pine tar something, Kush or something, and then he's also got the Christmas bud. So it'll be interesting to see what
One of those hopefully has something.
You think out of those two, you'd find some pine.
Have to.
And he's still working on his.
What the fuck was that called? Velvet? No,
his Velvet Punch.
Velvet Punch. There we go.
And I think he's working on the third, so F3s.
Right on.
I'm not sure how many F2s he released or if he's going to release some of those, but I think he's working on F3s.
Let me bring this down a little bit here.
Shout out Chris Mertz in chat. I see Chris Mertz.
Yeah,
Cascading Grown. I like these guys I haven't seen in a long time. Some OGs.
Here's Mertz.
exactly.
Cheers, Chris Mertz. I'm gonna cross this green room with Death Star and run a pheno hunt on that one.
You gonna call it
And-
Green Death?
Yeah, dude, something, man. I'm hoping I'm gonna pull the super pine out of that Death Star, and including like that high CBD. I'm sure there's a pine in that. I mean, that's like high CBD's hemp. I mean, hemp's old school sativa. I mean, that's where a lot of that pine comes out of. I'm imagining I'm gonna get some good pine somewhere in that green room. So that's my goal. I'm gonna try to get that with that Death Star green room cross.
So how
somewhere.
many CBD leaners do you have? Like, how many of those seeds did you plant this year?
I planted. There's about a dozen of them. They're all high
All over the
CBD.
place.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're all green room. 3 here, 3 here, 3 here. You know, little 3-packs here and there, just in case. I'm gonna keep the females, of course. And I don't plan on like keeping a lot of the males around, just like a little bit here and there. I don't want a shit ton of the pollen floating around. But I mean, honestly, I had a male in my garden a couple years ago, and it pollinated my crop, and I kept the male. It was intentional. But I had some plants on my deck that were, I don't know, 150 feet away, not even, 50 yards. Yeah, so maybe 150 feet away. That really didn't get many seeds in them. You know what I mean? And it's all in the same yard. So I'd imagine somebody 3-4 houses down, but with all the vegetation in between and shit, and all of the sunflowers and everything, kind of keeping it down. And I'm always watering. And I mean, you might get a couple seeds. I don't think you're just going to be a gnarly pollinated crop. It's nobody in my area has any gardens. I look at a map. Her and I go bike riding. And there's like no gardens. Nobody has gardens in the neighborhood. Super bummed.
Yeah. I don't think there's anybody by me that's growing, but I guess after this first season, I'll know if somebody's growing by me. If I get fucking a bunch of beans popped, I'll be like, you fucker, where are you
Yeah,
at,
you'll get them. You'll get them.
I'm
Yeah,
hoping
I
that
get them
all
every
of
year.
my
Even
huge
when I-
forest around me will fucking protect me and my ladies.
That's it. Even when I don't try to put a male in my garden, I still get seeds. I mean, there's pollen in the air. There's hemp fields. There's all kinds of shit now. So there's tons of pollen in the air. You just have to, like you said, have some protection around. Give yourself a plant barrier. Or be inside of a greenhouse or something.
Dude, I have so many ferns that are growing up and shit now. Like between both the properties on both sides, like in the wintertime, I can kind of see them, but shit, by mid-June now, no, I don't see anything. That's all filled in.
Just be careful going into your indoor garden if you don't want it pollinated.
Good tip.
That's one thing going to be nice. It's going to be nice this summer is not having to worry about that, right?
Any kind
Like
of
going from
contamination.
outdoor,
Yeah.
and then getting halfway down the stairs and going, "Oh fuck, I got to go
Yeah.
and change and do everything," and then send your hair and everything. So you gotta. So then I
I've
usually
taken my-
suit up my big hazmat suit from whatever Tyvek. Zip all up in that thing and sweat my tits off walking around watering.
Yep. Doesn't
Yeah.
take long. Those get hot fast too.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
just a
it'll be nice.
reality. Growing outside is you're gonna get seeds, you're gonna get bird shit, you're gonna get
Dust
cotton,
or-
cottonwood or whatever. Yeah, you're gonna get all that kind of
Bugs.
stuff. Yeah, bugs. Sunflower seeds. You can get sunflower seeds growing right in your nug. I've definitely had that. Or shells, because the squirrels are eating sunflower seeds, and I get random shells in there. So yeah, I mean, just have to be diligent and keep your stuff clean. It's I'm looking for like at best 80%, of what I plant. I want back. I mean, I'd say that's a excellent return. I'd shoot for like 90%, right? 90% or better. We say get back at least 80%, for some success.
Well,
They're gonna-
the things that
they're
usually
gonna
knock
do
you
something.
out would be like PM or something like that.
Exactly.
Right?
That's
So
part of that 20% of loss.
Right.
A little bit of
But
bud rot.
You have enough of
little bit
a
of-
varied crops that you're running out there that, even if it does get the rainbow driver, it may not, the citrique may be bulletproof or.
And I moved that stuff this year. I moved it to where it's going to get another hour or 2 hours of daylight, thinking that maybe the extended shadow had something to do with the onset of PM or something. So I'm going to try it like again in a different part of the garden to see if there's a microclimate thing going on that's causing it. And I'm also going to breed with it and try to put some resistance, because I know that Rainbow gets PM outside, and I know that grape jelly gets PM, so I'm gonna pull seed out of it and try to find a PM resistant one out of those fuckers. See if that's possible. It's kind of some of the interesting things with being able to work with outside stock, and also it'll like make it stronger for growing in my little microclimate environment and region right here in Washtenaw County. Some other people in Washtenaw County, and maybe the seeds will do well for them. So it's kind of cool.
That's cool that you're picking generation for generation. You'll be able to select for that kind of crap. You know what I'm saying? And then be able to really tailor it to what you want.
Well, wasn't the grape ape always kind of bulletproof for PM?
Yeah, I never had any issues with grape ape.
So you've got
Never had any issues with bud rot or anything. That sucker was really nice to grow. The grape ape's long gone.
No, but you have the green room cross of it, right?
I do have that. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So maybe
that's out
bringing
there.
those two together, you'll be able to find one that is resistant and still bring the medicine in.
Yeah, my theory is that something that's not resistant, right? Something that is susceptible to it will have offspring that will then be more resistant to it. Rather than having to resort to some stock that this, is almost like it has a resilience now, but maybe it's because it's resilient now. Maybe its offspring might not have that resilience because it's not infected with PM. You know what I mean? So like, I want to see what the effects. I want to, at least it's more of an experiment, right? To see if having something or even a nug that was infected with PM, seeing if the offspring out of that nug will have more of a resistance to PM than maybe a different part of that plant or something like that through a pheno hunt. There's a lot of labeling going on if you're getting into detail like that, but I mean, maybe there's some science behind it.
Well, my plan is that I'm going to take a clone off of everything that I have outside. Well, not the autos, but all of the photo periods, and then just try to hold on to those until the end of the season and make my selection on which one was able to make it through the best. Nightcore, yes, this is live. Cheers.
No, this is not live. This is
Memorex.
But we were answering you live.
Yeah, but that way, since I don't have seeds of them, I'll be able to hold those clones and then grow that out and then be able to take clones off of that for next year's run as well.
Yep. I'd take your clones in like late July, early August off your outdoor if you want to bring them inside. And you'll be able to, I've never had any issue at that late of a time to get them to still go in and not have to do a re-veg or anything like that. I've taken them as early as when I've seen visible buds, like what I would picture to be about week 3-ish and indoor after you would flip. I've taken outdoor cuts that late and they still rooted and everything. So it's still possible to get them even late in the game.
Mm-hmm. If you can talk about it, it's probably a memory. Or it could be a future cast. You never know.
I was just rolling up a joint and I was like, what the fuck is stabbing me? I have a thistle thorn stuck in my finger. I would not even know. I could sit here and fuck around and I have no idea this thistle thorn is in my hand all day long. I have no idea until I just actually put a little bit of pressure on my finger and it's like, oh, there's something in my finger. But otherwise, I have no idea that there's something in my finger. That's how elusive those little fuckers
draw out
are.
sap, Red. You get that draw out sap shit. It looks like black tar.
So
put a
elusive,
band-aid over
dude.
top of it. It'll come up.
Out of nowhere. What the fuck? There's a needle in my hand.
Man, there's nothing like working in your garden and forgetting the rose bush is right there.
You'll only forget for a second.
Woo, man, it hurts so bad. It's like getting stung by a bee. You forget how bad getting stung by a bee hurts too. Damn.
Yeah. The storm's going pretty hard at your house, man. I can see over your shoulder. It just keeps flashing.
I don't
Really?
mind getting stung.
Yeah.
It's like the 2 weeks later when it's still itchy and a lump and won't go away.
That's annoying. Yeah.
That's fucking annoying. I
It
still have a wolf spider bite that's fucking with me. Is your wolf spider bite still all?
No,
fucking
mine on my
doing the
neck
thing?
went away.
Good God, it was
Oh.
It
like
was from Red.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks
No.
ago. We were talking
Spider
about it on the
bites fuck
show.
me up.
Wolf spiders are
I
all
thought it
over
was
our
a
garden.
mosquito, but it's definitely not.
Oh, gross.
One scared the shit out of me today because it was one of the ones with big white egg sacs all over it.
That's a wolf spider. Yeah, there you go.
Always
Yeah,
pleasant.
they
My
carry
hand,
the
I was
young
pulling a weed or something. And it popped out. I
Uh-huh.
was like, God
Yeah.
damn it! I was
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
where they're at. They're in the
motherfucker.
hole in the garden. They
Yeah.
they like to burrow. They like to make a nest. They don't really have webs. You know, it's not a webbing spider. It's a burrowing spider, and they'll bite you if you're near their nest or their eggs, and you won't notice them. You'll just like see them scurrying away, and you'll be like, whatever, fucking spider. And then later on, you'll be like, fucking this mosquito bite just won't go away, and it'll like welt up and be super. Oh yeah, it was that fucking spider that you saw scurrying away. You had no idea that it just made you uncomfortable for the next 2 weeks of your
You need
life.
that Benadryl spray, Red.
Yeah, I guess that stuff would probably work a little bit.
Dude, they're so.
Aloe and some other shit works.
I for sure saw a tarantula.
Rollerball. Well, if you saw
Rollerballs.
tarantula, then it was somebody's that got away.
Not here. Not
No,
here.
we were in Mammoth Cave, and she like I saw this thing too. I thought it was a mouse.
I thought it was a small mouse, and it was not.
With
It's
fuzzy
no
legs.
joke. Because I thought it was a mouse scurrying away. I was like, oh, whatever. Or if
But we
that's
saw
a
it
chipmunk
again.
or something.
Was it
But
since
that-
it was in the caves? Was it like a glow in the dark kind that was all like radioactive and super big? And
Probably, dude.
Right on.
Who knows? They have crayfish and shit with no eyes. I think something about the only freshwater shrimp comes from those caves. I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought there were other species of freshwater shrimp. I guess that it comes from those caves, if there are species of freshwater shrimp. Unless maybe it was a specific albino freshwater shrimp. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, I could see there being the neon
It
glowing
was a tarantula.
super tarantula. This thing was
Had to have
fucking
been.
big.
Does
It was-
Kentucky have tarantulas?
I don't
they got
even
big
wanna
fucking
know.
mouse-sized spiders. That's for sure. I don't know what it was, but it was a big fucking
Mouse-sized
spider.
spiders.
Or chipmunk. We're gonna say guinea pig. What weird? I had a weird dream that there was a guinea pig crawling out of our garden. I think I was trying to smash it with a shovel or some shit. That's a weird rodent. That's a weird dream rodent to have floating around in your dream. Damn, that's a weird dream flashback to have out of nowhere. Like a whole fucking yeah. I think that was maybe last night or 2 nights ago. There's definitely a guinea pig in my dream. I think it was a little orange guinea pig. Cute little fucker.
And you were smashing it?
Right.
Fucker.
Were you eating
Yeah, he
it?
was probably he was getting into our cabbage or some shit. Get out of the cabbage. Well, it could honestly have been. Well, if you think about this, let's go late sesh. Maybe it could have been an old memory, okay, from an old ancestor or even myself.
An implanted memory, like
yeah.
Memento, and it plays
In-
backwards your whole life.
in-
Fred.
In Malta, I recall they actually eat guinea pig, or they used to eat guinea pig, or something. They would farm them.
In
it's a
Malta?
farm.
A lot of
I thought
in
guinea pigs
Malta.
were from Peru.
yeah.
Their way to Malta. I've had them little fuckers in Malta, little rodents.
They just got loose, Red.
They make these wicked little like traps that they get the guinea pigs trapped in these little like holes, and they fatten them all up and get them all this food and everything, and fuck man, and then they're like
Typically little baked
they
potatoes.
treat it all good and name it and stuff, and then it's like okay,
Oh,
I'll have to look up how it had to have been brought there somehow. I'd have to look up where the hell
Yeah.
them little fuckers came from, because
it's definitely not from the.
I-
What is that? The gozo?
Gozo, yeah. I mean, yeah. I'd imagine most animals. I mean, it's not the Galapagos for crying out loud. I mean, it doesn't just have a whole bunch of indigenous species of animals. I mean, at best, they got some
Madagascar.
goats and.
With the lemurs and shit.
I don't need to eat one, that's for sure. All right.
I'm with you.
There are some native mountain. There are some native mountain goats and some other things like that. It is curious how, but again, I mean, land bridge. Like Maltese Islands were probably part of a land bridge from the north of Africa to Italy or Europe, Spain or something like that. It drain the Mediterranean.
I don't know if Uncle Rick's still up, but this is still a lot of geography for him. So
I would love to drain the
second helping
Mediterranean.
of
I
geography.
think that would be a
I
really
haven't
cool.
seen him.
I think there's some like Atlantis type shit down there.
Shit, it's like 4-hour time difference. He still better be up. It's going to bed
Yeah,
with
no-
fucking
yeah,
Matlock and shit. Come on now.
Well, he and Baked have that same sleep schedule.
Murder, She Wrote. Why would anybody invite that woman over? Like anytime she shows up, there's like a dead body within like 2
I
She
days.
know.
solved the mystery,
Angela
dude.
Lansbury's
You gotta
bad business, man. We
Gives
don't want
you
her coming
the-
around.
Yeah, but she solves that shit.
Should tell you who's got the stash.
You find out who the rat is.
Who's got the weed?
Who's got the stash?
Fantasy Island was better than all of them.
No,
The
Angela Lansbury.
plane,
She's
boss,
the
the
queen, man.
plane.
Nah.
I couldn't get
Murder,
into
She Wrote.
Fantasy
Come on,
Island.
Murder, She
I
Wrote.
tried. I
That's
actually,
so good.
I actually tried getting into Fantasy Island. Couldn't do it.
You tried what?
I tried getting into Fantasy Island. It was like on Netflix or something. It was on one of them things. I actually tried getting in. I watched like the first season of it or something.
Well, back then, we didn't have much of a choice. So it was like, what was it, Friday night? It started off with Dukes of Hazzard, and then
Yes.
That was an excellent show. It's an awesome
it
show.
was, I don't know, Dallas.
They're
I
just
know
good
that
old
was,
boys,
I
man.
don't know.
Dallas.
Hell
What
yeah,
about- what
Dallas,
was the-
Falcon Crest.
What was the cop? Remember the cop?
On what?
I don't know, man. The
Dukes of
intro.
Hazzard?
I don't know,
No,
man.
no. It was the
guess
show.
God
was-
shows.
Dallas?
Chips.
Chips.
Oh,
Thank you.
Chips. Motorcycle Cop.
Conscience
Okay.
John.
Motorcycle Cop, dude.
Hell yeah, I watched Chips too.
I watched that too.
Mhm.
I vaguely remember it. I'm sure I watched it.
I watched. I didn't really like it that much, though. I remember that. I thought, what's his face, Emilio
John
Estevez.
Baker and
Whatever his name was.
Eric Estrada.
Yeah,
Gilligan's Island gets
He's-
brought up again. When I was growing up, my
What was that?
my
what is
great grandmother would
these
babysit.
are the same.
Whatever.
The only thing that would be on the television, I would get stuck watching all day long. Hours of Little House on the Prairie,
Me too.
and
As
like
babysitter.
General
You
General
poor bastard.
Hospital,
Oh god.
Days of
I
Our
would leave.
Lives.
I would go to outside.
It was all of that stuff, and then maybe like Jeopardy and shit by like 4:00 or whatever. What was
I like
yeah,
Jeopardy. I like that one.
Fuck, dude. And then let me see here. Mama Red. I'd have like half days and shit like that. I come home, there'd be like Oprah and shit like that would be on TV. Oprah. Good lord. I remember actually watching that whole Tom Cruise running
Jumping up
across
and
the
down.
couch and jumping up and down for he and his love for Kate and all that stuff. And I was like,
Just to
good
show
lord.
how batshit crazy he really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old daytime TV on.
I am not a robot.
I used to be sucked into that television thing. I'd get straight home from television and turn on Total Request Live or whatever it was called on MTV. at the
NRL.
time. Yeah,
NRL.
that was the prime of like being in high school. Get home, watch TRL, take a nap. Get home, TRL nap time. Let's let the fucking like Marilyn Manson play while you're like taking a nap. And it's like edited videos because it's MTV. And then there'd be some stupid show, some stupid reality TV show that was starting to finally come out with all that stupid
They started all that shit. Oh my
Real
God.
World and all that shit was
Yeah.
popping off.
Real
And
World.
that was most of my. And I'd get out on my fucking rollerblades and my bike and get the hell out of the house after my nap.
That a boy. After your nap,
Yeah, dude, getting up at fucking 6:30 in the morning to go to school. I had to catch the bus, man. I had to get up super early to go to school. Catch the bus every day. You got to get up like an extra hour early. Catch the bus, get to school. Bus breaks down. You got to catch 2-3 buses.
I hated
did you ever
that.
get your tongue stuck to the street sign post while you were waiting for the bus ride?
You stick the tongue to everything, dude.
Cheers,
Yeah.
GML.
And I never got stuck there for too long, man.
Cheers, GMO. Good to see you, man.
Cheers,
Cheers,
Jeremiah.
GMO.
Hope you're doing all right, buddy.
Hey, dude, it was growing up was fun, man. Having to take the bus and shit like that. That was
Growing up
definitely
was-
an adventure. Definitely an adventure.
I remember I thought I had the baddest bus in the world though because my bus driver had an 8-track player on it.
You were listening to Kenny Loggins and Eddie Rabbit. and
No,
shit.
dude, we were
Yeah.
listening. No, we were listening to fucking. So we had to listen to her shit most of the time, but she let us listen to one song a day
John
of
Denver.
our shit. So it'd be like fucking Brass Monkey or fucking some
Wait a minute, hold on.
Nice.
They had Beastie Boys on 8-track.
fucking look that shit up. I
That's
fucking know.
awesome.
I remember hearing it.
Steve was an 8-track.
I was like, I want to say first grade maybe,
Oh shit!
kindergarten or first grade. Yeah, they had that shit. That's how I heard that song. That's how I learned it because my parents wouldn't let me listen to that shit.
The only 8-track I ever had was Def Leppard High and Dry because fucking Columbia Records fucked up my order and sent me
Columbia.
You're
the
12 for a penny.
goddamn 8-track instead of the cassette.
And I was
Oh,
like,
shit. I didn't know that they even dealt with 8-tracks. So they had the Columbia thing before the tapes and everything too.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like
Oh,
everything
yeah. I
was
didn't
like
know
a
that.
penny or some shit.
Yeah,
They
you would get like
Yeah, you
12
get like
for a
14
penny,
of them
Penny.
for,
and then you had to buy like 4 more.
Hell yeah,
over the
dude.
course
and then
of
they
the
send you one every month for like $20.
Yeah.
It's like what the fuck?
I did that. I got away with that once for a penny. I never had to fill out anything else. I never got charged or anything. It was wild. I got all
I did that to BMG.
20 CDs or
Did
some
that to
shit. I got
BMG.
20 free CDs, 20 for a
Fuck yeah.
penny or some shit. Maybe I didn't even pay that penny. I don't even
Yeah,
know.
but you know, it's like you're like, oh, I can find 6 that I really like, but man, what am I gonna get this rest of this shit? And you're like, no.
Most of them were. I actually had.
No.
I filled it out, dude. It was good. I'm pretty sure I got Nirvana's Nevermind, Stone Temple, like 2 Stone Temple Pilots
That's a good
CDs. This
one.
was
Some
like
Pearl
back
Jam, some
mid 90s.
Soundgarden.
Yeah, dude. Like
some
all the good
Mudhoney.
stuff, man.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, it was like Atlantis Morissette. Just like
Because I got one hand in my
Hilarious.
pocket. I can see you rolling in that
I had
fucking
that- I had
Ford
that-
Focus
yeah,
with
yeah.
Alanis Morissette, man.
yeah.
It's good shit.
The other one is
And-
giving a piece. Oh,
Hey,
there it
man,
is
Red,
again.
I had
Oh,
that shit.
one of the
stuff in there.
4.
I had
One of the 4. We can roll out sequence.
That was one great thing about working in the record store back in the day because when we were slow, I would just go through all of the stacks of the fucking vinyls and all the cool. That's how I discovered Soundgarden way back when Louder Than Love was out. Man, I was like, who's this? But
That reminds me of working at Best Buy where people return shit. Like back in the day when people would return items, they would return even CDs and shit. And one of the things that that wasn't just my job, other people too, but you have to go through the shit, see if it worked. So you have to play the CD, see if it worked or not. I see there's a messed up. And so you'd be able to listen to all these cool fucking CDs and shit.
yeah.
So that was pretty dope.
Yeah, same thing. All the record companies would send us like demos to listen to in the store.
Oh, that's
So
dope.
we would
That's
just get
cool.
boxes of CDs and stuff. And watching the transition from cassette to CD was crazy too, because everybody was used to get cassette, and then the CD craze happened, and then everybody was getting these CD. It was crazy. And it was
I was getting cassettes. I have a Ace of Base cassette, and All for One. I think a couple of cassettes. Right when I started buying my own music was when like the craze in between was happening, and those would be a couple of what I chose to buy my own music with. That's what I was listening to in like 4th, 5th grade, 5th, 6th grade, something like that. That was probably like 4th grade. All for One and Ace of Base. Skilbo, you're muted.
I said, do you see what Buddy Kilowatt is saying? He said that he is just in chat actually streaming Dead from Shoreline. They're in the middle of a sick Dark Star.
Beautiful.
Dude, I'm
Oh,
the
yeah.
biggest. I'm hoping like hell that they play a Dark Star
I am too,
in
man.
Clarkston.
I am too.
That would be fucking rad.
I'm excited.
I'm happy that they open up the tour
16
with let the
16
good
days,
time-
Red.
let the good
16
times
days.
roll. I can't. It's gonna go by so fast, man. It's gonna be here before we know it. We're gonna be on that lot, 3 p.m. baby. Hopefully
Yeah,
they'll
man.
let us in a little earlier.
It
Yeah.
sounds like I'm in a fucking car wash right now, for real. It's like wind and rain, not just rain.
It's beating the shit out of the house.
That's how it
Yeah.
was here earlier. I bet you're getting what we had here a little bit ago. It's pretty
Yeah, I
nice.
keep looking
Looking
over
at the
because I
window,
got
like-
3 windows right there to my right, and I'm just like keeping an eye
Sufa,
out.
don't feel old. Feel experienced. You have more experience than I. If fourth grade. I don't know.
My dad
Nice.
told me that he went to see Grateful Dead in like 95.
Yeah, it was pretty wild
Oh, one of the
With
last Jerry shows. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
with our mom. Yeah,
With my mom. And my mom never told me that.
Secret Deadheads.
Secret Deadheads.
There's a second teaser. Those are just to get peeps to purchase the streams. Yeah, man. That's the fucking Nugs one, isn't it?
Nugs
Second.
does it. Well,
Yeah.
Dead.net does it too. Yeah, they have like their own version of it, but it's basically through Nugs. So it'd be like dual, you know.
Well, if they got it, then I'll just start checking archive.org in a couple of days. Somebody will
We-
put that up, and then you can download it from there.
We've done it. We've like purchased the show, spent whatever it is, $12.99
St.
or
Stephen,
whatever
yeah.
for the
St. Stephen's good
to catch the whole thing, man. Because it's like, it's an early show. It's an East Coast show or something, So let's
Franklin's Tower.
let's spend $15 and just do it. We can catch the whole show live.
Oh, what did we get? We got a Billy Strings one.
Yeah, we did a Billy Strings one. Yeah, I'll do a Billy Strings one, dude, and I'll fucking throw $20 or $30 and get the poster. You know what I mean? Just support the artists and shit like that.
I like a hoodie. That's my favorite.
Yeah. If I actually can attend, I like to actually get something of real value, remember it with.
Dude, those fucking Dead and Company posters we got last year, the ones that are blacklight posters, those are sick.
Hell yeah. Yeah, makes me think that I need to grab a couple of those this time. Those things were like,
Did you see how much they're going for now?
Yeah,
I
that's
think we
what I
paid
mean.
like $60 for them, and the first time I seen them, they were like 120. There's some
Yeah.
people that were selling them for $300.
yeah,
Notice
well,
I said trying to sell, not sold.
people, trying to sell it. People will attend the show and then they'll, miss getting one of those because they're either too
You
busy.
spent
trying
your
to
money
get
on the lot
in, or
usually.
spun, or just whatever. You spent money on beers or something, and then later on you'll be like, "Damn, I want to try to get one of those," and then you'll be like, "Oh shit!"
Oh man, trying to buy beer at fucking on the lot. You can get them, but they're like $7-8 a crack, man. So
You can just buy anything on lot. It's amazing. You get yourself a belt buckle. You can get yourself. I got a tie-dye flannel last year. It was
you can
Come
get a
find out
glazed donut
women's.
grilled cheese.
probably most definitely get a Belgium elephant ear.
Donut grilled cheese.
Dude, it's
grilled cheese, yeah.
it's a fun place. It really is. I'm glad that Pine Knob still opens it up a little bit early for everything, all the festivities, and allows all the pop-ups and everything to happen. Give a little place for Shakedown Street. Be a hell of a time to try to get rid of all those people.
Pain Lady, are you going to do any concerts this summer? There's a bunch of shit
Yeah. Well, Sequence and I have Pussifer coming up in a few weeks, July 1st, I believe
coming. Where's
it is.
that one at?
Meadowbrook?
Okay.
No, I can't remember. I'll have to look again, but yeah. Oh, Spartan.
Oh, Spartan. You touched the wrong button. I was going to ask him that. He
Storms.
was like,
Hopefully, it's not the storms, man. Fingers
Oh,
crossed
maybe
that he
it
has
was.
power.
could have knocked him out.
Yeah,
I'm
That's true.
sure he just pressed the wrong button.
just wrong.
That would be the usual thing, but we'll see if he
He's
if he
fixing
comes
his
back.
Maybe.
mic.
Maybe, but yeah.
Josh
No,
says
so-
Pussifer was good.
Pussifer, yeah, is fantastic. I've seen him live, but Sequence has not seen him. Ooh, red. Nice drop.
Yeah.
Nice recovery.
5-second rule.
It just got a little bit of synthetic carpet fibers on it.
A little bit.
Chat, if you're not high by this point, you haven't been trying hard enough. You know what I mean? Like,
Truth.
It was kind of nice.
Food.
You want to talk
Food.
about food these last 6 minutes and really get people fired up on stuff? We were
Yeah.
kind of working with a lot there. And then we were teasing the healthy people with all of our fruits and vegetables and smoothies and whatnotery.
Do you guys want to hear my snack? Okay, I'm gonna have a peanut butter sandwich, but it's gonna be toasted bread with peanut butter and cinnamon and fresh raspberries.
Wow.
Have you made this mix before?
Oh yeah. Oh
With
yeah.
two
Oh, yeah.
pieces of bread,
Yeah,
like a real.
Yeah, like a peanut butter and jelly, but with a little bit of cinnamon and raspberries and cinnamon.
Okay. Yep.
So good.
It's good.
I like it.
On
It's good.
toasted bread.
I stopped eating bread for the most part, but I'll probably just have a handful of raspberries and a spoonful of peanut butter. But
What kind of peanut butter do you guys
Yeah.
use?
Velvet.
Velvet. I
What's
don't know
that
if
stuff?
I know that.
It's in
Velvet
like a
peanut
yellow
butter.
container. It's
I
old
think
school.
I think
Oh, okay.
I think we were
It
forced
has
into
sugar in
getting
it?
we were a different
It's lower
brand this time,
sugar.
right? You had to get a different brand in.
Peanut butter was sold out at Meyer today. Let me just tell you guys
what?
about that. They
Some
only
bunch of
had
nonsense.
skip.
Well,
Skippy.
Skilbo, in the last 5 minutes of the show, let's talk about that new vernacular we have. Food shortage. Oh my gosh.
The
Who heard that
vernacular.
one? Who heard that one before? Well, we have in the last couple of years. And guess what? Coming to a town near you. Grow your own food, man. Got to do it. And I know that we can't grow our own. What were we talking about?
Peanuts?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
sandwich.
But I mean, we could grow some peanuts, and
We have raspberries.
we can have raspberries. So I mean, and we guess we could make our own peanut butter. It probably wouldn't be that bad.
I
Probably
like fresh ground peanut
Yeah.
butter. That's my favorite.
That sounds good.
The
Couldn't
other
be-
shit, they have that at all the grocery stores now. Meyer has it. Fresh Time.
I'm sure we could process
Yeah, I
our own
really-
peanuts into peanut
I
butter.
really like creamy peanut butter.
We have a food
Oh, this
processor.
is creamy. It's creamy.
We have a
They
food
just put it
processor. We got a jackery. We can do it outside even. There we go.
Guys, Spartan might actually have had an issue.
I
Yeah.
think he did. I mean, it was pretty. I was like, whew, we're getting some lightning and some thunder. Thunder.
Dun-na. Na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah, man.
They had that on one of my Peloton classes the other day, and the instructor was like, my fiance is walking down the aisle to this song this Saturday. I was like, that's fucking great. I love it.
I love that Bud is reciting the lyrics to Uncle John's band.
Hell
in
yeah, man.
chat. I'm loving it. Thank you, Bud. I hope they're playing that right now.
One would presume. Yeah.
They say
Casey,
how happy I was that they let off the tour with "Let the Good Times Roll." That's my favorite song by them, man. I had no idea that I was a deadhead when I wrote this song. I used to be a little like campfire guitar player, dude, right? You know, and naturally, of course. And you know, one of the first songs that like I put some chords together and wrote some lyrics to the chorus and the whole thing, and you know, the chorus, oh, let the good times roll. You know, and it was kind of like a little play on this old song that I had heard about letting the good times roll, and I never heard the song before. I had no idea why. It was because it's fucking the only time I've ever heard it played was from good old Grateful Dead, and I don't know where the hell I heard it from, but I had heard it through the years and as a kid or something.
You see that, Red? He said they're playing Uncle John's band right at this moment, and Mayer's shredding it apart. You know, John Mayer does not get nearly the fucking credit he should for the fucking guitarist he is.
I agree, Skilbo.
Like, even his work that he's done outside of working with Dead and Company, like, yeah, dude, he did the Chicago, you know, the invitational shit, that Eric Clapton thing back in the day. You got to be pretty good to get to that. So,
Yeah, he's really super talented. He's really, I mean, his music isn't my taste, but
yeah.
you know, whatever. It's just,
You're more of a Dave Mustaine girl, right?
I mean, I back in the day, hell yeah, I loved Dave Mustaine, all that shit. Anthrax was my jam.
Anthrax, man.
Mm-hmm.
The original knot.
I
Yep.
think he fits the music very well. I think his guitar is great.
I agree.
I'm not a fan of the I'm gonna like everybody has like their ness, you know what I mean?
Niche, yeah.
Yeah, well no, like their ness, you know what I mean? Like what is like the dogness of the dog or the scobo-ness of the scobo, the painted
Well,
ladiness of the
You know what
painted
it's going to
lady.
be? It's going to be the Bro Show Live of the Bro Show Live Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come back to
'Cause
everybody
there's
and
only
meet
1
up with
minute
us.
left.
We're literally like 6 seconds away. So I took the wheel from him, ripped it away, and we're out of here.